Dear Harriet Tubman, how is it to be buried under the singular displeasure of the sentence? Shanna, how is it to be buried under the singular displeasure of the sentence?
It's displeasurable.
Displeasurable. Your life story is depicted in a series of silhouette panels, i.e. the sentence like a sentence. In one, an infant's body, and another, trees surround the figure of the woman's shape. Then the marriage, then the journey, then the house, then the deathbed, and the letters. Harriet, the pink-stained tyranny of a sentence for you. I get a little bit emo. I get emo near the garbage by the placard. I get emo next to the Lay's potato chip bag. I get emo around the empty Heineken bottles like doves in the bushes. I get emo in the sweater I'm wearing. I get emo on my way to the Dunkin' Donuts. I get emo on my donut. When I look at you, Harriet, I say I am not a white man. It has to be said, Harriet, that I'm 28 and 30, and stuck in the vortex of being 28 and 30. In the age of the internet and liminal space, Ben Fama, what's a liminal space? One of my poem's fingers creeps into my asshole, and everything is in there. There is a pleasure to the body torn to pieces. Araminta, object of my wetness. What is my wetness? What is my wetness? Glistening, the historically abject, unperform all the able-bodied syntax. This don't want to cohere, but will anyone be my friend?
Yes. Yes.
Dear Harriet Tubman, I want to use your body for my own pleasures. What is pleasure? Samson Starkweather? Samson, what is pleasure? In other words, to be historical. In other words, I want to wrap your flesh around my subject. In other words, art needs bodies, and I believe in ritual. Keelan, what is ritual?
Candlesticks.
In other words, through history, I am such a slurk. In other words, I sniff your garments and cover myself in the sheath of your human skin, magical restorations in which poems are the only real bodies. In other words, I shimmer the guilt. Bodies are objects, Harriet Tubman, and as such have more power in others' words. Your art withholds information from you, and you'll either have to beg for it or force to try and act on your own. This means you'll have a greater chance of failure. This form of control makes your art feel superior, as they know more than you do. Dear Harriet, my arts project is to compete with the body, to terror it, but the ugly narrative first. Jennifer Knox, what's narrative? But the ugly narrative first, Moses. To be body is to be subject. The problem we're dealing with is I can't gut it out, Harriet. I'm stuck in the gutter. Something I suppose you know well. Harriet, my clit perks and waves to the sun. Sean, what is a clit?
Very much.
It thinks it to be its own reflection, and it looks up the word entitled. At your memorial, I dangle from your big hand like a metaphor. I am the slobbery noodle. The way out of this, Harriet, is through language, but I can't stop narrating. Ugh, it feels so good. Your art controls you by bringing up private moments that you might not want to be general knowledge and turning it around so that you come out as the fool and they come out as the hero. Dear Moses, in art, none of us hero. What is hero? There are many versions of me on the net. They all arms. Have you heard what a pair of hips can do to your historical line? Your art controls you by making you responsible for their behavior, and in doing this avoids all accountability. It will be your fault because you didn't remind them, or set a good example, or